Hello there, thrill seekers, and welcome to the first Monday Moldy Oldie of the year 2022. Hooray! For today's installment, I have picked out a segment of an interview that I did for a French kind of online magazine sort of thingy called Prajna, and I did it about a year ago, and it has been published on the internet, but with French voiceover over my voice. But here, for the first time, you're going to get a segment of it in English, and maybe I'll put up more segments as the year goes on. The question is about prajna, about intuitive wisdom, and in this little bit, I go into a kind of riff that I often talk about when I give talks. So if you've seen me give talks before, you might have seen me do this one about the puzzle piece that is the universe, or the puzzle that is the universe, and our role as the piece of that puzzle. Anyway, that's what this one is about, and about intuitive wisdom that knows at a glance and other stuff. So please enjoy it, and here we go. Look at me talking to somebody online who is in France. Yeah, prajna is an interesting word, and I'd forgotten as I was saying this that that's what your company or the group is called, or the station. I don't know what you call it, but yeah, well, if you take the word jnana is a Sanskrit word for wisdom, and is this related to the English like pre, like before, So it's like the wisdom that comes before knowledge. It's sort of, and most people translate it as intuition, or sometimes wisdom, or intuitive wisdom. This intuitive wisdom is wisdom that comes before sort of knowledge, before you know something in the sense that we usually think of knowing. Usually knowing means a kind of fixed understanding, like I know that the boiling point of water is 100 degrees Celsius or something like that. You know some kind of fact, or I know my address or my birthday. It's a more of an intuitive knowledge, and Buddhism really values that knowledge, especially in Zen. The main sutra, that Heart Sutra, is called the Prajna Paramita Sutra, the great heart of perfect wisdom, and the word prajna is in it. So it's a kind of wisdom that, they say, wisdom that knows at a glance. So it's a kind of understanding that's very, you know exactly what you need to do at every moment. Now, of course, that's sort of true in theory, but in fact, you have this brain here that's full of ideas and things that it's always trying to interrupt that. But my teacher, Nishijima Roshi, would say that if any time a decision has to be made, you know the right decision instantly. However, sometimes the mind comes in and clouds you and makes it difficult for you to remember what the proper decision is. So that's prajna. It's a kind of subtle sort of wisdom, I think.
Following what you just said about like knowing, like just right now in the second, do you think that in the world there is like an equilibrium, and through meditation we kind of get aligned with it somehow?
Yeah, I do think so. I think there is a kind of equilibrium in the world and the universe, and you can kind of align with it through meditation, or through, well, meditation is kind of a bigger term than zazen. Zazen is kind of specific, but my teacher would talk about the rule of the universe. It was his words that he used, and I'm not so fond of the way, I understand what he meant when he said the rule of the universe, but it makes it sound like it's a law or something. But it's more like trying to find out what the universe wants from you, which sounds very new agey and strange sometimes. But there is I think we all have a certain role in the universe, and the way I like to think of it is like a puzzle. If you have a puzzle, and each piece of the puzzle has to be a certain size and a certain shape and a certain color in order to make the puzzle complete. And I think that's kind of our role in the universe. We have to have a certain sort of individuality that we bring to things, which is our sort of shape and color and size, and then we fit into the puzzle that is the universe and make it complete. And I think the mistake a lot of us make is to try to change that. We try to become the biggest piece of the puzzle. That's kind of more, the most common way. Or if you're a very spiritual person, sometimes you try to become the perfectly round, perfectly clear piece of the puzzle. And that piece doesn't fit either. It doesn't fit any better than if you're the big giant piece of the puzzle. So what we're trying to do in the Zen practice is find out what our particular role is within the bigger scheme of things. And the problem, I suppose, is that, and this is maybe where prajna comes in, is that you don't know it. You don't know it like, I am you don't have this sudden, piece of paper that drops from the sky and says, you are supposed to do this. It's more like a feeling, and the feeling is something you have to attend to moment by moment. What is my role in this moment? Because 2 minutes later it might be completely different, because the situation might change. So that's how I think we fit in or align. It's like sort of tuning a radio is another example. Trying to find exactly, well, now you have digital tuners, so it's much easier. But when you had the old dials, you had to find exactly that right spot. That's what it feels like.